everybody, it's Jalen Weinel with Crafty Girl Creations, and I am coming to you today from warmer northern Kentucky, um, where we are no longer in the sub-zero temperatures. We are actually up in the 30s now. I'm not sure what our temperature is right at the moment, but it's a lot warmer than it has been. And today I am going to try to warm you up a little bit, and we're going to look at what's coming in March. As we know, St. Patrick's Day is coming, and warmer weather is coming. And Stampin' Up! Has created a set called Rolling Waves. And anybody likes the beach, you'll love this card. But you'll see that there's going to be other ways I think you'll be able to use it. And kind of give you abstract kind of ideas, and we are going to do that here momentarily. So let me go ahead and switch my camera, and I want to show you the set first. Okay, there's my overhead. So now I'm going to pull these out. I've been using it this morning, so I've got everything open and out still. This is the Rolling Waves stamp set. You're going to get You're in my thoughts, thank you, hoping your day is perfect, happy birthday, bon voyage, and then you're going to get some stamps you could use for the waves and colors if you want to stamp it that way, with the color on the bottom and then like maybe a white ink on top, to show the foam that's on top of the water. And then you've got this cute little one we're going to use for sand grains. But I want to show you another way to do this as well, another technique with the blending brushes. So that's that. I do want to show you the ones I did not choose. These are for the dies that come with the bundle. Open this up. I used, there's like, I just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big ones, and then lots of little ones, and I'm going to show you some of the little ones here as we go. You've got your Montserrat leaf, and then 2 different umbrellas, and a shell here that I didn't use. What I did use were the ones for the waves. That's going to create our wave. Now I'm going to show you our card for just a second. Show you 2 different versions of it that I did. Okay, let me make sure I'm getting in there so you could see both of them. I did them 2 different ways. This one on my right, I did with the stamp at the back, so I left some of the white empty, and then used some of the die cuts, just kind of increase the texture of the waves, and then did use the white foam on top. In this one, I did the up. Let's see, I did a sentiment that was raised up, versus this one I did it like you wrote it in the sand. And then your shells, I did one of two different ways. The one on the right, I literally dyed white paper. And then on this side, the opposite ones I did with Stampin' Blends, and some of them were cut out from cardstock. So it just goes to show you that you can do things multiple different ways. So I'm going to set these 2 aside. And we used for our ink, we used Early Espresso, Pool Party, and Crumb Cake. We're going to put the espresso on the bottom, and I'm going to open up the Pool Party because those 2 are what we're going to use first. I got my tags at the bottom too, so I know which one is which, because side by side you really can't tell. But when you get your stamps, you get these on the back. Took me a while to learn that, but I didn't realize you got the 4 stickers on the back that you could put in different places. So I'm going to set those there, and we're going to first cut. Get my cutter. So I put it down here. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Now I got an 8.5 by 11 white cardstock, but it is the thick white cardstock. When you're doing white cards, you can use cardstock, but Stampin' Up! Regular cardstock, but Stampin' Up! Also carries, because the white does not come out as thick, they created a thick white cardstock, and those cards stand up a lot better. So I'm going to cut that in half, set one half aside, and then we'll go ahead and do our 4 1/4 for our scoring. And I'll set this aside. So I don't think I'll need that. I'm going to go ahead and fold that, and then use my bone folder to burnish it. Gives you a much better, so that your card sits up or it sits flat for you while you're working. All right, and I'm going to set the Rolling Waves up out of here, and then I'm going to grab a pre-cut. I went ahead and pre-cut some. I do pre-cut a lot of these because the 4 1/4 by 4 is the layer you would normally, like if you were to take a Poppy Parade and put it, on top, then that's going to give you that little border around it. So this is 4 1/4 by 4, and we're going to use the Pool Party first, and I'm on my glass mat, but if you don't have a glass mat, you'll want to put this on a sheet of paper, because you want to start off to the side and then blend onto your cardstock. So, then you start on the side and come back. Now you can do this. This is for the ocean. Now I'm going to kind of do this a little dark, so I'm going to do it for 2 or 3 times. I think I'll go one more and start that on the side. Come over. Now most of this in the middle, nobody's going to see. Okay, now I'm going to come to the other side, and you can see the variations of color that it gives you. Hope that shows up on camera, where it's a little darker on the edges and it lightens up as it goes left to right. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my crumb cake. I have one a blending brush I used for the crumb cake, and that one's going to go on the other side. Again, start off on the edge. It doesn't necessarily have to meet in the middle, because that's going to be covered up. And you just decide how dark you want your sand. Now, another thing we're going to do is I've got, with the crumb cake, again, it's going to be tone on tone. There's that stamp that gives you the sand grains. Now what I did, let me get another separate piece of paper out here, some extra sheets I have. I cut up some sheets of extra graph paper that I had. Oops, let me set those over here because those aren't supposed to be out yet. And we are going to just I'm going to stamp off and stamp just some of the grains, because I just want light grains in here. It's okay if there's some that are just darker, and it's just going to be sporadic. Just to kind of give it a little extra texture. And so that, you can tell a little bit more that it's with grains. It's got grains, sand grains. Okay, that's it. So once you've done that, I'm going to wait. Now, I usually tell you to do all your stamping first. For this one particular card, this is an exception. While I shut the inks, you're going to stamp one last thing, but you're going to do it last. I know. It's opposite of what I always say, but there's a reason for it, promise you. And so I'm going to set these on the bottom and put our early espresso there on top. Keep this out just for a few more minutes. because I want to start and show you what I've done already, because I like to try to keep this within 30 minutes. So I did pre-cut a few things, a couple of things. Oops, let me see here. I think I got them right here. Yep. Let me just pull them. I got one that's stuck back here. Hold on one second. There we go. I went ahead and cut the die cut of 2 of the bigger waves with the foam, and then the smaller white one. And what we're going to do first then is we are going to put some glue on the back of the white. Now what we are using is the March online exclusive, which means you won't be able to get it until March. Okay, yeah, well, I'm going to put just a little bit down here on the bottom, a little bit of glue and sporadic, just where you've got the bigger places. Yeah, just kind of so it kind of holds it down, but we don't need a big lot of glue on there because we're going to be layering them. Okay, we're going to turn that over. And then this, and remember, you also have time when you're using glue. So you could take it, put it down. Oh, except for I got it the wrong way. There we go. That's okay. That's why I like using glue, because I want that to start up there. Now we'll go ahead and glue up our blue. And this is the Pool Party blue-green, kind of oceany color. Depends on where you go to the ocean. You're right. Sometimes I could see your comments right now. I'm still getting used to knowing how to do that. So, all right, we'll go ahead and, again, it's not a lot of glue, just enough to keep it where I want it. And let me make sure I'm turning this the right direction, because this is the cool thing about these the die cuts is you can layer them. And because it's going to be layered, it doesn't really have to match up 100%. But these actually they actually look pretty great no matter where you put them. So I'm just kind of playing with it. And last but not least is going to be our top foam layer. Now the number, I didn't put it, I meant to put it in the description. The number for this bundle is going to be 167. Oh, here, wait, hold on one second. I got it right there. 167145 when it comes out. 167145. There. Just enough. Now this one I put a little bit more glue because it's going to be at the bottom. But it's okay if it, if it doesn't, Now what I'm doing is just kind of playing around with the placement, because it's okay if it shows on the blue and it's okay if it shows up on the sand, because that's what you see. Here you've got the sand. Let me go ahead and bring that up. You could see, oops, there we go. You could see where you could see the water over the sand and the water over the water. Just deeper colors. And now what we are going to do is I have cut out, this is what I wanted to show you, the dies. You can see here you've got the one die cut that gives you the bigger waves. This was the small white foam. Okay. Now this one I really love. It's got all the pieces. You've got 3 different starfish with texture. You've got your conch shell. And then I can't remember what the fan shells are called. And then you've got another starfish at the end. So I cut out some on white, some I cut out on Pool Party. So I'm going to put a couple out here. I'm pulling from two different stocks that I have because I made some ahead of time and for an event tomorrow. And you could see I took in, what I did was I took one of these white sheets that we start with, the 4 1/4 by 5, and I took a Stampin' Blend pool, and this one, it was dark Pool Party. Might have used light Pool Party, come to think of it, but I think I used the light pool. Yes, I did. I used the light Pool Party because when you order Stampin' Blends, you get a light and a dark of the same color. Kind of like you have the two-tone cardstock now. You've got two tones of your color in your Stampin' Blends. And I colored a sheet, slowly. I mean, it didn't take me just a minute to cover one little sheet and then cut these out from it. And I've got, it gives you different tonal qualities to each one. This one's a little bit more of the blue, and these are a little lighter. You could always add more to it if that's not enough. So I'm just going to pull out some random pieces here. And then let's pull one from over here. Because using the Pool Party, there we go, I can make it just as random as I want. There, that's one of each, I think, just about. Let me put these back. And we are going to put some of these on dimensionals, and some of them we are going to put on by gluing them. And I'm going to start with the glued one. But I wanted to do a little, kind of change it up just a little bit, this conch shell. Oops, oh, yes, I almost forgot to tell you. I'm glad I did this, pulled this up, because this is, as you guys know, the take your pick tool, where you've got your whole, where you could actually take and use the tip here. Oops, sorry. Get my camera up there. There we go. You've got the tip that you can, punch these out with. But when you've got a die cut like this, and you've got all these intricate little pieces, the Take Your Pick tool has an accessory kit that you could get in addition to the tips you get with you'll get this tip here at the end, the point, and then you've got a weeding tool inside. And that one just takes and goes on here and locks tight. These on this end can be twisted, screwed in. And what I did was I took my putty off the end and I put this little wheel on here. What that is for is your die cuts. So that I put it on my leg, on my jeans, and I just ran it over a couple, 2 or 3 times, and it got nearly all of these out in one fell swipe. So if you have the Take Your Pick tool and you do not have the accessory set, the extra set, please let me know. I don't know the number off the top of my head. So definitely drop it in the comments so I can give that number to you. I'll try to remember to do that, because you get this one and you also get, there's several of them, but I wanted to show this one specifically. This perforates. Let's see. So you could take and screw it in, and let's see if I can get it to, I'm just going to do it on here, on this sheet of paper I just used, and it perforates. See how that's tearing? It's fantastic for doing, I don't think I'll need that anymore. It's fantastic for doing invitations, like if you're doing a wedding invitation. It's fabulous. All right, so now with that said, let me go ahead and get something off the back of that. I am going to take and do just one more thing with this, just to kind of offset it. I'm taking where it's got some accents here. I'm going to take and just kind of give it a little character. Nothing really, you see, everything in nature is what it is, you know, nothing's the same. And I just like this color combination, so which is why it may not be what you've seen, like you usually see these as brown, but I just thought the color combination was really cool. So now you see that makes that just that much cooler. This one I'm going to glue. But if you ever see me working with a tool that I don't specify what that tool does or what it is, please let me know. We're just going to put that little guy right there. And let's see, I've got my, well, at least I had my Stampin' Dimensionals right handy. But that's okay, I've got all kinds of Stampin' Dimensionals, so I never go out of Stampin'. I'm never out of Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to take the next one and we're going to put it on a dimensional. And I'm going to take this bigger one, the bigger clamshell. And we're going to put him right there. And then I want a big starfish up on a dimensional. Just put that in the middle and then pull that top off. And we're going to put him like kind of up on top. And, oh, he kind of went, there we go. He kind of went up under the other one. So one more dimensional. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, forgot to take my paper off. That's silly. Put another one there. And then our last one, I think I'm going to put a starfish and we'll glue him down. And then I could put my glue away. Just a little tiny dot there. Kind of put him back there in the back. And you could see, I want to bring that up, how just by doing the Stampin' Dimensionals, with putting some of them up on Stampin' Dimensionals, but also coloring the one back here, how these two were both done with Stampin' Blends, but they look completely different. That's the beauty of another beauty of using Stampin' Blends. Now for our sentiment. Yeah, here it is. It's going to be in, I figured I wouldn't put it in crumb cake since we've got layers of crumb cake already in the sand. But I wanted it to look kind of like somebody drew this in the sand. So we're going to take and this is why I said do this last. Because if you did it first, you're not sure it's going to be where you want it. Ta-da! Now it looks like somebody drew it. Or it reminds me of it. Now, because my Take Your Pick tool, I used the one end, I don't have my putty on that I normally would take and use for my embellishments, but I'm going to take and do them by finger. I'm using one of the small. I'm going to put one here for one of the big ones because they come in two sizes. These are the rhinestones, and I don't know if you guys could see how yeah, you could see all that shine and glimmer and prettiness, and I thought that looks like water to me. And I wanted it to kind of roll with the wave. So now when you look at this, you know, sometimes you should see a little sparkle. And let's see, another thing that we could add to it. let's see, is my Wink of Stella. So we are going to add a little bit of that, and I'm just using it. I haven't used it in a while, and I want to make sure everything's coming out good. Yep. And you could add just a little Wink of Stella to these waves. And it just kind of give you a little bit more sparkle. I don't know. I don't know if you guys could see that. Sometimes it shows up on camera, but it gives your water a really nice little sparkle to it. And last but not least, now we're ready to put our card front onto our base. So how easy was that? Once, it took me 5 minutes to cut out those little pieces, maybe. And I probably had this card made in 30 minutes or less, even when I conceived it. So this is I call this a simple, but stepped up by having your Wink of Stella and using your Stampin' Blends. What do y'all think? Think that's pretty cool? I thought it was great too. Let me go ahead and switch back over to my camera again, and there we are. And I want to thank you for being here with me, and please share this video if you haven't already. Like and smash that like button if you're on YouTube. Subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys at Tune In Tuesday at 2. Don't forget also that this month, the Stampin' Positioner that we've been using is the free gift. It is free, if you sign up as a demonstrator. So if you're interested, give me a call, because right now you can't do it any other way. It's not purchasable yet. It will be for those of you who don't, want to mess with, you don't really want to be a demonstrator, and that's fine. Many people do it for just a hobby, so you get the discount. And then you get to pre-order before anybody else gets it. It's really cool. So, all right, y'all, have a great day. Stay warm, and I hope this did something to inspire you and more